Welcome to Pastor Andrew's Inspirations. Have you heard about the parable of the mustard seed? The parable of the mustard seed is one of the shorter parables of Jesus. It appears in Matthew 13, verses 31 to 32, Mark 4, verses 30 to 32, and Luke 13, verses 18 to 19, as well as the non-canonical verse 20 of Gospel of Thomas. In the Gospels of Matthew and Luke, it is directly shadowed by the parable of the leaven, which shares this parable's theme of the kingdom of heaven growing from small creations. In Matthew chapter 13, verses 31 to 32, it reads, "He put before them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed that someone took and sowed in his field. It is the smallest of all the seeds, but when it has grown, it is the greatest of shrubs, and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air come and make nests in its branches." In Mark chapter 4, verses 30 to 32, it reads, "He also said, 'With what can we compare the kingdom of God? Or what parable will we use for it? It is like a mustard seed, which, when sown upon the ground, is the smallest of all the seeds on earth. Yet when it is sown, it grows up, and becomes the greatest of all shrubs, and puts forth large branches, so that the birds of the air can make nests in its shade.'" Also, in Luke chapter 13, verses 18 and 19, it says, "He said therefore, 'What is the kingdom of God like? And to what should I compare it? It is like a mustard seed that someone took and sowed in the garden. It grew and became a tree, and the birds of the air made nests in its branches." In the Gospel of Thomas, verse 20, it states, "The disciples said to Jesus, 'Tell us whom the kingdom of heaven is like.' He said to them, 'It is like a mustard seed. It is the smallest of all seeds, but when it falls on cultivated soil, it produces a large branch, and becomes shelter for birds of the sky.'" The plant denoted here is thought to be black mustard, a large annual plant. The nesting birds may refer to Old Testament texts which stress the universal reach of God's kingdom. A real mustard plant is unlikely to attract nesting birds because of its size. Therefore, we can see that God used Jesus to make stories to help people see the way life works. I hope this was interesting to you. God's blessings be upon you, and please stay tuned for more parables and sermons. Bye for now.